is a very in-depth guide on how to actually have increased levels of focus. The first step is to not do multitasking, but do monotasking. I hate to break it to you, but multitasking is simply a myth. You're not doing several tasks at once. Because what actually ends up happening is you're actually switching between tasks at hyper speeds. What that creates is something known as switch cost effect. But when you switch between tasks, your brain needs to recalibrate itself, so then it can absorb the new information that you're trying to extract. And that can also lead to mistakes, where you have to also spend time in fixing your mistakes. So that even slows you down more and reduces your mental performance. And it's even been found that multitasking actually reduces productivity by 40%. The second step is try being in a state of flow, where Bruce Lee says himself, be like water, where you have no sense of ego and you even lose a sense of time, where you have a healthier sense of yourself. Being in a state of flow is like being so absorbed by the task that you forget about all your surroundings and you wish it to never really end, and it feels so effortless that you've accessed this deep internal focus. You might have heard of something called being in the zone. You might have actually experienced it yourself. Remember the last time you played sport, you forgot about the crowd and you focused on that one goal you had, which was getting that point and how you're going to get there. And you're going to have a bit of challenging as well. And you're also supported by a team, so you're in a comfortable environment. These are actually the requisites of being in a state of flow. You have to first be in a safe environment. Second is have a very clear goal. Third is have meaningful goal, the purpose behind it. And the last part is having something that's a little bit challenging based on your ability and your skill. So this will involve you to obviously do monotasking because it's a single goal. And this will provide and need your entire full mental energy towards doing this single task. So the best way to engage this type of flow is when you do cooking, when you dance, play music, when you even do climbing or any other sports or physical activities. These are actually good to unlock the state of flow. And to be able to find it in work, it's just going to take trial and error. For me personally, it's like doing these videos or even video editing or like designing. So these are things that I know that unlock the state of flow for me. For you, it's going to take some time to probably find out, or probably you already know what it is. The third step is gain more control through digital detox, where you cut unessential technology and usage from your life, or block or limit it, especially the time that's spent on social media applications, because we actually lose a lot of time on those. And we also seek after instant gratification. What you're going to do instead is you're going to delay gratification. The best decisions are always made in long term, not short term. We actually make more mistakes in short term decisions. So you're going to be able to actually prevent this and reduce this. And the best way to do it is maybe have separate devices. You have multiple devices, like one for just social media use, has no SIM card, nothing. The other one is just literally for productive use case. It only has those apps, and you keep that phone nearby. Whereas the other one, you literally just throw it like in a drawer or something. And when it comes to that time when you need to go on your social media, you go, but minimize the amount of time. You'd be surprised as well. You go on your phone right now, you go on settings, you check the amount of time you spend on social media. You realize probably you spent 40% of the entire day on social media. And that is probably where the problem is of why you're not getting anything done. The fourth step is self-hypnosis, where it's like a relaxation technique and uses visualization with the help of suggestions to help you put you in a state of trance. So it's not like a state where you're sleeping, you're not really sleeping actually, and you're not really conscious, you're like in the middle. That's the best way I can describe it. And this allows you to be in a deep state of relaxation at a subconscious level, and it keeps you completely relaxed and alleviated from stress. And this can help you stay focused and motivated to accomplish your goal. Many famous people actually have used self-hypnosis, such as Michael Jordan, Tiger Woods, and so many others, to even get rid of their habits or even overcome their emotions or traumas, and even states like fear or anxiety, to have more control literally over their mind and their body and everything. And even Tiger Woods did this at the age of 13 because he had some anxiety or was stuttering and couldn't pronounce words or something. So then he did it, and he would have more control over his life and his mind and everything, because he would remove all the distractions and be able to be hyper focused at the game. The fifth step is practice mindfulness. We have overstimulated our brains with so much dopamine due to junk food, social media applications, so many other things. And we've overloaded it with excess noise, distractions, and stress. You'd be surprised actually that the average person cannot sit in a room by themselves 30 minutes just with their own thoughts. And even someone very famous who was a French inventor and physicist said that, I think his name was Pascal, who wrote, all of humanity's problems stems from a person's inability to sit quietly in a room. And this is because, I guess, of our desires. And I'll cover that in another separate video of what desires are and the deep desires and hidden desires and so on. Sometimes silence is necessary to reboot the brain when we start it. And the only way to achieve this is through mindfulness and meditation. We want to be present in every single moment we're living. And there was even an 8-week program conducted at Harvard for mindfulness training. And at the end of the program, they did an MRI scan. And they found that students had better focus, sensory processing, and also planning abilities. Simply spending 10 minutes a day, or if you can't, 5 minutes a day, it's meditation on YouTube or even Calm or any of them that are guided starting off. Then what you want to do is you want to focus on your breathing as well. And there's a lot of breathing techniques. I think the main two really are the Wim Hof technique, but that's for a separate use case. That's more for your immune system improvement. The other one is the Navy SEAL technique, which is the box breathing technique, where you have 4-second counts. Breathing in, holding that breath in for 4 seconds, and breathing out. But when you're breathing in, make sure it's through your nose, not your mouth. Because what you're doing when you're breathing through your mouth is there's a lot of toxins and pollutants going into your lungs directly. Whereas when you breathe through your nose, it's actually filtering that out. So you want to breathe through your nose and get into that habit. I'll probably do a separate video on breathing because it's actually a huge topic and a lot to talk about that, especially with the Wim Hof technique. So I'll leave that for another time. But focus on that Navy SEAL technique of breathing whilst you're meditating and using that guided meditation. And the thing is, Bruce Lee was always present in every single moment. Even when he would go for his early morning jogs, he wouldn't listen to music or anything. He would literally just embrace his silent neighborhood. And anything that he would do, even acting, he was so hyper-focused. But he couldn't even tell that he was actually acting. He almost felt like it was real. There's also something else that you can do as well in meditation, because there's lots of different types of meditation. There's something known as movement meditation. And this is something that I believe Bruce Lee would do as well. I'm not sure if it was Qigong, but he did some sort of movement meditation. So Tai Chi and Qigong are like the common types of movement meditation. And what it means is master one's energy. And it's an ancient Chinese healing practice that combines meditation, controlled breathing, and gentle movement. So even exercising is good for you, especially with being able to focus, because it helps develop new neural pathways and also strengthen existing ones. And it reduces your cortisol and stress levels as well. So by doing these things, you will ultimately have higher quality and levels of sleep. It's actually very important for longevity that you have around 6 to 8 hours. Bruce Lee would make sure he would have around 8 hours because he knew that it's very important for his recovery period, for his body and his mind, which will speed up and improve for the next couple of days. Especially when you had injuries, you focus on resting. It's very important that you get that level of sleep, because it's even been found that if you have less than 6 hours sleep, you're more likely to take risky decisions with poor judgment, which is literally oil on fire. Not a good combination at all. So to make sure you have high levels of sleep and high quality. And if you're struggling as well with insomnia, then you can try sleep meditative music with some audio book that's like really chill and really mellow. And you actually automatically feel very tired by that. The last step is having a diet based around cognition. And it's very different towards like physical performance, you gotta realize. Because this one is much higher in healthier fats, carbs, because they contain those nutrients and vitamins that you need for your brain to improve cognition. So what you can actually minimize is sugar, ultimately. Bruce Lee would literally avoid or minimize sugar as much as possible. And you also want to reduce your intake of having things like seed oils, grains, fried foods, caffeine especially, and refined grain products, especially processed bread and all this stuff, because the body takes a lot more energy to be able to break this down. Because it's using a lot of energy to break it down. That's why you feel so sluggish and tired, especially when you have carbs. A lot of them, like especially that are like rice is okay, but if you have bread that's processed, it's gonna make you feel very drowsy. And you realize that in the morning. When you try and read a book, you're gonna struggle to read and go through it. So instead, you're gonna have more healthy and organic food. Something like fatty fish, like salmon, is good. You know, blueberries, walnuts, and almonds are very great for cognition. Broccoli is amazing; it's like a superfood. Carrots, green tea, and dark chocolate, and also tomatoes. These are the best, and that will help improve and increase your cognition. So simply by doing these things, you will have Bruce Lee-like focus. And he said himself that a successful warrior is an average man who has laser-like focus. What this simply means is that success isn't dictated by talent, but by your ability to focus. And in this day and age, everyone is distracted around you. So that also means your competition isn't as bad as you think it to be. If you're able to focus, that is. So thanks for watching, like and subscribe, follow for more. And remember that it's up only from here.